Happy Saturday, Preston. It's been a couple days since we made a video, and I'm well aware of that, because I thought Preston was doing more zombie videos, but I guess he wasn't, so I'm just starting fresh. Here's our video, and Preston should make one tomorrow. So my sophomore year of high school, we watched a movie called Crash, and I've been thinking a lot about this movie lately, and I finally got around to rewatching it last night. It is such a potent film. It's still really applicable. It really presents our society as is, as far as racial stereotypes go, as far as racism goes. Let's face it, racism is still a thing whether we like it or not. Everyone's always going to have their own opinions about people of other races, which is a shame because we're all people. We were all born the same way. There's nothing different about any of us except for our skin color and our cultural background. I really like nuanced movies, and this one has a lot of them, especially in regards to racism and how our culture in America sort of almost promotes those kind of feelings towards other people, especially in the last few years or so since September 11th, where anyone who's Iraqi or not even Iraqi, just Middle Eastern, is immediately labeled as a terrorist, which is just absurd. And anyone who's Mexican is instantly an illegal immigrant who shouldn't be getting the same rights as everyone else in this country. That's a shame. We should be ashamed of ourselves for treating people like that. America is supposed to be the country the people can come to so they can find who they are. It shouldn't be a place where they come to work for less than everyone else and to do the jobs we just simply don't want to do. If that's the case, then people really need to stop complaining about outsourcing. Because we're outsourcing the jobs that we don't want to do. But if people are complaining about that, it's hypocritical and dumb. I finally got around to watching both the first presidential debate and the first vice presidential debate, and I was actually kind of disappointed that there wasn't more talk about ethnic diversity. I know it's not a major topic in the elections right now. They actually talked a lot about foreign policy in the vice presidential debate because that's one of the major parts of the vice president's job is foreign relations and all that. However, I was very impressed by both the president and the vice president, as well as Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan. I think everyone did a very, very good job in their debates. My own personal opinion, I believe Mitt Romney won the first presidential debate, despite the fact that I'm preferring Obama at this point, but I think Mitt Romney just laid more on the table and did a better job. As far as the vice presidential debate goes, Joe Biden mopped the floor with Paul Ryan. There's just no question. If anyone tries to tell you that Paul Ryan won, they're wrong. Do not listen to them. Joe Biden, he brought the big guns this time. I mean, he's had some flukes in the past where it's just been like, oh, you should not have said that to that person at that time. That was a bad choice. But no, I was blown away by Joe Biden's performance the other day. And I think he's really going to have convinced some people to vote democratically in this next election. The main problem for Paul Ryan was that he didn't bring quite so many facts. Joe Biden was all about the facts all the time, and Paul Ryan seemed to just bring more talking points to the table instead of really any substance. I saw a picture earlier today about it was a picture of Paul Ryan lifting weights, and the caption of the picture was just, "Dude, just chill out. I'll give you all the facts about our tax plan after we get elected." And that's pretty much how I felt in the debate. There were so many talking points and a severe lack of facts from Paul Ryan. As far as who's going to win the presidency, I've done some research for myself. I have my own opinions, and I will let you all develop your own opinions. And I think the next couple debates are really going to help decide a lot. So I strongly recommend that you go ahead and watch them. They're not the most exciting things in the world, but for anyone 18 and above, they're really important, and you should really get around to watching them soon. I know campaign season is like the season every 4 years where everyone is divided, and it's like, oh, you like this person? Well, I hate you now, and vice versa. And it's a really ugly season. But it is important. Everyone who can vote should. I don't care if you're voting for Romney or Obama, just cast your vote because that's the only way our system works. If we weren't in a democracy, there'd be a different way that things work. However, democracy is the only system we have, and the only way for it to work is if everyone steps up and does their part. So I strongly recommend that everyone who can does. Back to the topic of racism, everyone should be equal. We're all past the civil rights movement, and there's still people who see African American people as somehow being lesser than the whites. It's time for us to really start shifting our paradigms around, because it just doesn't even make any sense anymore. Frankly, it didn't make sense back then if you review history. The fact is, racism should be dead. It's not, but it should be. If the people like you and me, if we can start being emulated in other people as far as racial diversity and equality goes, that would be a beautiful day for the American people. And the sooner it comes, the better. Preston, I'll see you tomorrow, I hope.